this is 23 CR 9-1, the Commonwealth versus Brian Walshe. Can I have counsel identify themselves, starting with the Commonwealth?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Greg Connor for Commonwealth.
Good afternoon, Mr. Connor.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Laura McLaughlin for the Commonwealth.
Good afternoon, Ms. McLaughlin.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Good afternoon, everyone. Kelly Porges on behalf of Mr. Walsh.
Good afternoon, Ms. Porges.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Larry Tipton from Mr. Walsh.
Good afternoon, Mr. Tipton. Good afternoon, Mr. Walsh.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Walsh, you can have a seat, sir.
Thank you.
All right, so, Mr. Tipton, I've read your motion, an affidavit, a memorandum of the Commonwealth's response. Have you had a chance to look at any of the materials that it seems like maybe the Commonwealth gave you in the last week from when the motion was filed, or?
No.
Okay.
Because frankly, we just got it.
Okay. All right, what are we doing today?
Well, I don't want to speak for the Commonwealth, and I want to make sure that Mr. Walsh understands, because I just told him something different in lockup.
Okay.
I think based on the representations of the Commonwealth, both in its communications yesterday and then this today, there's a lot of discovery forthcoming, some of which addresses some of our requests, some of which will be done. So I think it's a waste of our time to argue this extensive motion and memorandum of law. And I was going to explain why we filed such a detailed memorandum of law, but I don't think I need to waste the court's time with that. So I think what we're suggesting is, at least what we're suggesting, is that we come back on December 2nd, having had a chance to review what is coming, and then
Narrow the motion as to what you might still need. All right. I'm sure that's fine. If you determine that some of what you're requesting is Rule 17, do you anticipate being able to file them that day or not? I'm not telling you you have to, I'm just.
well, I can tell the court that we're certainly looking at our request to see if they require Rule 17. And I'll just very briefly say that in our memorandum, when we address internal affairs, we are suggesting that right now, under the present facts and circumstances that we argue in the memorandum, that a Rule 17, even for internal affairs, isn't necessary given where we are today. And the court may certainly disagree, and we said in our memorandum, if the court orders us to follow Weyness, we will. But if we know that a Rule 17 would be required, I would anticipate we would bring it with us.
And it's not necessarily regarding the internal affairs,
Right.
but other things you were looking for, I
Exactly.
thought were probably a little bit more obvious, Rule 17.
Okay.
So that's what I mean, not those. I understand litigating whether the IAD information is Rule 17 or Rule 14. I can see that maybe we will have to have that discussion, but the others that I think maybe after you look at what you have, you might think is Rule 17.
Yeah.
So on those, do you anticipate you might be able to file them by then, or it's too early to tell?
I think it's too early to tell.
Okay, how about if you can, you will?
That's absolutely right.
Okay, all right, does that make sense, Mr. Connor?
Perfect sense, Your Honor.
12-2 works for me, Jimmy, does it work for you?
It does. It does.
Okay, do you want Mr. Walsh brought in that day?
I think we should issue a Hague, and then Mr. Walsh and all of us will talk and see if he needs to be brought in. But
Okay.
if we're going to have a hearing, yes, I will.
Sure, so we'll bring you back, Mr. Walsh, but if you don't want to come, let us know, and I think that.
And just finally, and I don't want to interrupt another Commonwealth, but the Commonwealth has filed a motion for protective order
Yes.
for some of this stuff. Right now, the status of that, we don't object to the protective order. Our understanding is that we can share the information with Mr. Walsh, but we're not going to give him hard copies of everything just yet. And we don't object to the redactions that appear today. We just want to review what we have, and then we'll come back. That's our understanding of the protective order.
That's our joint understanding, Your Honor.
Okay, that's what I would order anyway
Yes.
at this point, so, all right, so I'll allow the Commonwealth's motion for protective order. All right, we'll see you December 1st,
September 2nd.
Second.
December 2nd.
December 1st.
All right.
Sunday.
All right. So Jimmy, you can take all my notes off the papers, please, if you would. All right, thank you all.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's Jimmy. Jim.
Oh,